What's up, guys? Today I'm going to talk about Trick Daddy's first record, back when it was Trick Daddy Dollars. It's a single from his first album. What's interesting about this particular single, not only does it feature Verb, which makes it is already a big bonus in my book, but also features a secret Luke diss that's not on the album version. But before I get into that, I want to do a little errata, or not really error correction. It wasn't an error. It's just something really important I left out of a previous video. Actually, what I did is I edited it out of the video because sometimes when I record these things, I tend to ramble and especially repeat myself. I'll go, like I said, and say the same thing twice. And then when I'm watching the video back, I'm like, people don't want to hear me say the same thing twice in a row. They're not stupid. They get it, so I cut it out. What I accidentally did is I cut out something important from a past video. So, quickly, and it relates to the subject of this video. So if you remember a Christmas video I did a while back, Silence featuring Disco Rick, the song Santa Claus is Coming, this record. What I neglected to mention, because again I did mention it, I just cut it out like an idiot, is that this record is a parody of sorts, or an answer record maybe, to a very important Miami record, and Trick Daddy's, maybe not his first appearance, but certainly his first hit. Scarred by Luke. Now, you like how it's done here? Scarred by Luke. It just doesn't mention any other MCs. It's just a great big picture of Luke. You flip it around, there's another photo of Luke with some random girls. Scarred and a B-side. Nothing about the fact that this features Trick Daddy and Verb. And I mean, they're the guys rapping on the whole thing. Luke doesn't rap, of course. He just does a little bit of the hook. He doesn't do the music, of course, either. That's not his thing. All he does is a little bit of the hook. And Trick Daddy and Verb are completely left off. But anyway, so the music is exactly the same as the instrumental on Santa Claus is Coming. Probably one of the most misunderstood or hard to hear lyrics in that hook is when he says Captain Dick coming. Captain Dick is what he used to call himself sometimes. I can evidence here Luke, aka Captain Dick. That was his thing for a little while. Kind of stupid, but so he would refer to himself as Captain Dick, and so that's what he's saying on the chorus during a large part of it. People are like, what's he saying? What's he saying? Because he's saying it really fast and repetitive. He's saying Captain Dick coming, Captain Dick coming. And there's a part of it where it sounds suspiciously like he's saying Santa Claus is coming, which is why they say Santa Claus is coming here, and they've made it into its own song. So it's the same beat, it's the same flow. And this is the first, again, pretty much the first appearance of Trick Daddy, and it's another collaboration between Trick Daddy and Verb, who, as I say, is on the record we're about to look at. So Scarred was a big hit for Luke. And again, it really doesn't credit Trick Daddy and Verb. I mean, heads who know the song recognize that they're on it. They say their own names in the song, they were in the music video. I mean, they're not completely neglected, but they're really not credited. Nowhere does it say Trick Daddy, nowhere does it say Verb. Even on here, on the back, there's no big featuring Trick Daddy and Verb. So when Trick Daddy signed to Slip and Slide and came out with his own first record, he hooked up with Verb again, and as you can imagine, they had some things to say about Luke. Not through the whole song. A lot of the song is just sort of party stuff, and it's all sort of flexing, fast rap, cool, fun stuff. There's two versions on the 12-inch, and both versions are the same as on the album. There's the Spin version and the Mike Fresh version, and obviously the Spin version is produced by DJ Spin, the Mike Fresh version is produced by Mike Fresh, and on the album it's just, the song is called Gone With Your Bad Self. And on the album, it just says, Gone With Your Bad Self, and then Gone With Your Bad Self, bum 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 remix, because that's what he says during the hook of the song, bum bum bum, But really on the album, one is just the Spin version, one is just the Mike Fresh version. The 12-inch just spells it out a little more clearly. So this Gone With Your Bad Self is right on the heels of Scarred. Scarred came out in 1986, and this came out in 1996. Right on the heels of Scarred. Slip and Slide was definitely acting on the hype that Trick Daddy, uncredited though he was, got from Scarred. And I think this is a really fun song. Both versions I think are really well produced. It is sort of very upbeat party, and so, if you're already in a sort of screw Miami-based music kind of mode, then this is not going to convince you. And certainly if you're, a dyed-in-the-wool East Coast New York kind of guy, you're probably not going to like this, because it is sort of party, fun, the sort of stuff you associate with Miami-based stuff. But there's also some really dope stuff coming out of Miami. And if you make that distinction, and you're in an open-minded, then you're actually going to appreciate a lot of this song. I suppose I should point out real quick, the sequencing on this 12-inch is all wrong. It does feature all the tracks listed, but it says clean version, instrumental, acapella, dirty version, and that's just wrong. It's really clean, dirty, instrumental, acapella on both versions, on both sides. So there's 8 tracks total. You can even tell it's just looking at the vinyl. Like, obviously that's the acapella right there along the inside. So what's special about this 12-inch is that the clean versions actually feature a bonus second half of the final verse with all new lyrics, and they're also Luke disses, which makes them probably more compelling. Now again, they diss Luke on everything already. There's no version of the song without a Luke diss. But the clean versions, there's a part in the final verse where Verb comes in. And Verb comes in both songs. He's already been on. The whole song is, sort of upbeat, fun stuff in the vein of Scarred. But then the last verse, Verb comes in and disses Luke. And midway through his verse, there's like a studio punch-in. So he's rhyming, then he kind of stops and comes in. And he's like, he's my bitch. I made him my bitch. And you never see him in the streets, only up, dressing up in the clubs. And he's talking about Luke. But on the clean versions, at that punch-in part, he comes in with new rhymes, saying, looking like George Foreman trying to make it come back. Looking like you're on crack, hope you get your record label back, but you get in your car and your boat repossessed. All new lyrics that are only in the clean versions. And now to be clear, the new lyrics come in the clean versions of both the Mike Fresh and the DJ Spin versions, and the old lyrics are in the dirty versions of both the DJ Spin and the Mike Fresh version. So it doesn't matter which beat you're listening to. It only matters whether you're listening to the dirty version or the clean version, versus what lyrics you get. But if you got the album, you get two versions of the same song, with the same lyrics. Only the 12-inch has the alternate lyrics. So check it out. I'm going to play the last verse of the dirty version first.
Hey, yo, Trick. What's happening? Why these fools be rapping with this kindergarten mag? I'm saying, Luke, what's happening? The 9-6, took a Verb, beat this shit. You stole the hit, but still a slide, put me on the lick. It's on, nigga, you fucking with the wrong nigga. Calling my dogs, I'm blowing up your whole nigga. Twig the skip, then slide on you, it's a ride on you. That nigga my bitch, I made him my fiance. Fuck fist fights and rap, nigga, gunplay. Who be the first nigga ducking when the shots ring out? You never see him in the club with the thugs hang out. New shit from Trick and Verb, nigga, know you want him. You can't make it hit unless the nigga rapping on him. And you got this like a little bitch, and now Trick and Verb be the shit. What's happening? Why these fools be rapping with this kindergarten mag? I'm saying, Luke, what's happening? The 9-6, took a Verb, beat it. You stole the hit, but still a slide, put me on the lick. It's on, with the wrong nigga. Calling my dogs, I'm blowing up your home. Twig the skip, then slide on you, it's a ride on you. You might as well. I just broke with a capital B, can never bother with G. You signed a group like a father MC, looking over the George Foreman, trying to make a comeback. Gap 2 videos, looking like you on crack. I hope you get your record company back. Heard you going broke, car repossessed and taking your boat. Nah, and you got something like a little, and now Trick and Verb be the shit.
So the only disappointing aspect of this is that you'll notice the new versions they curse in them. So when they play them in the clean mix, of course, they're edited and they cut out the curse words. So that means those lyrics only exist edited. Because the dirty version features alternate lyrics. So you get the full versions of those verses. This verse with new Luke disses are still edited like the rest of the clean version songs. So unfortunately, you can only hear it edited, which is definitely a disappointment, definitely a glaring imperfection, but still much better than not to have it at all. It is a really cool aspect. It is a cool, nice hidden gem on this 12-inch single, that's for sure. So I'm sure you've noticed now in this and past videos, I've really been beating the drum for Verb. And it's true, I think he really is a highly underappreciated Luke Records MC. But frankly, in this song, Trick Daddy absolutely pulls his own weight. If you're really down on Trick Daddy, I've heard some of his more commercial pop singles that came later in his career, and I absolutely understand why a lot of people have heard Trick Daddy and like, this dude is awful, I can't stand him, he sucks. He has done some pretty terrible stuff, but he's also done some really dope stuff like this. So if you've completely written Trick Daddy off, just don't write him off. Write off half of his career. Write off a lot of his stuff. But records like this are just solid all the way through. The fact that it features Verb is just, a tight bonus, and for someone like me who definitely considers himself a Verb fan. But even if you're not, Trick Daddy also is killing on this record. Even without Verb, this would be a hot record. And one of the great things about this is that Trick Daddy records are so not sought after that this can easily be gotten for super ultra ridiculous cheap. It's online for like 99 cents or less. You'll find it in the dollar bin if you see it anywhere. It's wildly mass produced. It's very available. It's almost 20 years old now, 1996. But Slip and Slide really got it out there, so it's all over the place. And it's not sought after at all. So if you want this, you can definitely get it very cheap, which is very nice. So you've got Trick Daddy actually coming nice on this. You've got Verb, always welcome to hear more stuff from him. You've got fantastic production from Mike Fresh and DJ Spin, two really strong, solid, completely underrated producers from Miami. And you've got some fun Luke disses. What more can you want? Especially for like 99 cents. I absolutely 100% recommend this record. So that's it. Till next time, thanks for watching.